I'm 50 years old. I was brought up in the 80s and the 90s. I have never seen Mortal Kombat. I have played the Mortal Kombat game in the amusement arcade back in the day, never at home. I don't know any of the characters' names. I've never seen the previous two films, but I heard the second film is a masterpiece. I don't really know much about Mortal Kombat, but I've watched the 2021 new movie. Did I enjoy it? Bloody ripper I did. That's true. Let's go throw another couple of shrimps on the barbie. Okay, so let's talk about the film then. Hang on a minute. Okay, so I've got my trusty notepad. This is really starting well, isn't it? I've got my trusted notepad because there are a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat that I'm not going to remember. Okay, so the film is directed by Simon McQuoid. I don't know why, but I wanted to say McQuoid. And this is about a character called Hanzo Hasashi, who lives back in the 1600s, and he's got this little emblem on him, his little Mortal Kombat emblem, and he's being hunted by Han. He's not been hunted by Han, but his name is Han. You know what I'm talking about. Something happens back in the 1600s, and the film jumps forward a couple of centuries, and we meet up with a young cage fighter, or a rather useless cage fighter, called Cole Young, who's being tracked down by this guy called Jax, who has a place in Mortal Kombat. Basically, they're trying to gather up all these people that have got all these special abilities to fight in this big championship, to fight against these outworlders. We have the villains, really good villains. We have all sorts of weird looking creatures. They've all got different special ability powers. But the whole film is building up to this big, massive tournament. Now, some of the characters are really good. Kano, I believe, is a really popular character. All those Mortal Kombat fans are going to tell me all about Kano now. He was the highlight of the film for me. I loved his humour, his wit, his sarcasm. He even grumbled sarcasm. Yeah, so he was a really great character. Han was really good, but I preferred him when he became Sub-Zero. I'm sure Rob will be happy with that. Although I don't have myself a Sub-Zero mask. But I really liked Sub-Zero. He was a really menacing, kind of Darth Maul type character. Jax, good character. Hanzo Hasashi, I can't remember the actor's name, but he's been in so much stuff. I think he was in Godzilla as well. And Cole Young, the guy who played Cole Young, I'm not sure what he's been in, but I don't think I've seen him in much, but he was really good. Had no problem with the acting at all. You're taking a franchise from like the 90s. You're trying to bring it into the modern audience, keep them interested. But you're also trying to please the hordes of Mortal Kombat fans out there. I think they've balanced it right. For me, not knowing anything about the whole Mortal Kombat franchise and the history of it, I came in as a newbie, and to be perfectly honest, I had no problem. The story was easy to follow. It explained it back in the 1600s. The whole emblem, the championship, why certain people were being recruited for this championship, the reasons behind the villains. So yeah, it was all explained really well. Special effects were really good as well. There's a lot of martial arts fighting in this, outside of the ordinary martial arts, because we're getting weird looking creatures as well in this. So the CGI is really good. We're getting things like fireballs being thrown and stuff like that, ice. The music was good. What surprised me the most in the beginning of the film was like the first 10 minutes, because I watched the trailer for the film when it first came out, and I was like, it's not going to be the first thing I'm going to run out to watch. Well, we're not going to run out anywhere with the cinemas shut, but you know what I mean. And it was going to be, you know, when it becomes available, I'll watch it. But I was able to watch it, but I was really surprised in the first 10 minutes. I was like, this is really good. And from then my expectations went up. I enjoyed the ride. The humour, I was laughing out loud a lot. Okay, the film is not a comedy, but it is Kano. Kano's role was the comic relief for the film, which is what was needed. But I enjoyed a lot of the other characters and the fighting and the situations. The cinematography looked fantastic. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with the film, a lot of fun. And even after the film ended, I wanted more, yeah. Now, I believe this is probably the first film in maybe a 3 or 4 film continuation building up to this massive tournament. I can see this working out the same way the Harry Potter franchise did. This, from what I've heard people say, this is the Batman Begins of Mortal Kombat. This is like the origins, where it all began. And we're going to be building up, like the Harry Potter films, building up to like the Deathly Hallows Part 2, where we have the big confrontation. So I should imagine maybe at the end of film 3 or film 4 we'll have this big championship. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes next. But I enjoyed the film. From a non-Mortal Kombat fan, it was a really good film. You don't really need to know anything about Mortal Kombat to actually enjoy this film. Everything is explained and it's easy to follow. So I just had a lot of fun with it, with the martial arts, the special effects, the comedy in it. And yeah, okay, so how would I rate Mortal Kombat 2021 on a scale of 1 to 10? I was going to give it 8.5. I think maybe that might be a little bit too high for me. I'm actually going to give it 8 lightning bolts out of your fingers. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Mortal Kombat. I look forward to watching it again. Cannot wait for the 4K for this, seriously. I didn't watch a 4K presentation or a Dolby Atmos presentation. I can only imagine what the Atmos soundtrack is like with this, because there are instances where things are going to be flying around your head, lightning bolts going round, special effects. It's going to be absolutely fantastic in 4K. It's going to look great. It's going to sound fantastic. So I look forward to the release of the 4K. But I hope you enjoyed my review. Like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Stick down in the comments. Have you seen Mortal Kombat, the 2021 movie? Did you like it? How did you rate it? What didn't you like about it? Are you a Mortal Kombat fan? Do you like the previous 2 films? And I shall see you all on the next video.